Bro, I need to know who's funding Main Man, because this little kid will not go away. Why some centrists fear David Hogg could do more harm than good. Now, for those of y'all that don't know, he's been elected to the vice chair seat of the Democratic, the DNC. Let's read. Long a backwater in party politics, the vice chair, an office that typically comes with little public attention and even less power, has become the focus of a barrage of stinging headlines from the right in recent days over David Hogg's previous calls for abolishing ICE and defunding the police. Inside the Democratic Party, Hogg's election and the resulting coverage has been accompanied by frustration among centrists that a 24-year-old March for Our Lives co-founder with 1 million followers could hurt the party's brand, especially in swing districts. They vented at his ascension as a representative of Democrats' failure to grapple with some voters' frustration that the party is overly concerned with diversity and appeals to the far left. This is Politico, who, come to find out, Politico might actually have been getting some money and funding from USAID. So like the next day, they put out an article like this to kind of like start going more centrist to a right of center. Quote, the most worrying thing is if he carries into this new job a belief that saying what he was saying, but louder, is the way to prevail in red states, said Matt Bennett, co-founder of the center-left group Third Way, because it isn't. If he believes that it is, it's going to be a real problem for our candidates in those places. Bennett added, he came up as an activist, but now he's a party leader, and that's a very, very different role. I'm not mad at people being activists. Activist has a negative connotation right now, right? That's what happens with the left. They take a word, they smudge it, and people don't remember the actual origin of the word, like woke, and then they use it based on the false definition or the new narrative, right? If somebody's active in the community, even if things that I disagree with, they have an American right to express themselves, and if that turns into getting a political following, they have the right to do so. It's our job to combat those ideas based on the Constitution or constitutionally protected rights and stop any legislation that they'll try to present. So I'm not upset with him having an activist background. I am an activist in the Second Amendment community. I'm active. But let's continue reading. Another Democratic strategist granted anonymity to speak candidly. They don't even want to, look, the DNC, the Democrats will cancel culture me, so I want to be private with my identity. Complained that Hogg can now go on TV, quote, as a vice chair for the DNC, speak on behalf of the Democratic Party in a way that can do more harm than good. Hogg, who first rose to prominence after becoming a survivor of the 2018 school shooting at Parkland High in Florida. Main Man wasn't even there. But anyway, pitched himself to DNC members as a solution to Democrats' growing youth problem, calling for the party to make concrete efforts to include young people in party business, for example, by covering the costs of travel to meetings for people who make less than $100,000, a barrier for some hoping to participate. He argued in DNC candidate forums that Democrats shouldn't be afraid to talk about the hard to talk about issues. Democrats, you have a weak young man problem. You have a weak, older, middle-aged adult problem. There has been a consistent coddling and softness and no constitutional understanding that has been damn near synonymous with the Democratic Party. And now you've allowed, some would say like a crisis actor type of energy, to become second in command on your chair, in your situation, okay? He's the vice chair. This is actually great for freedom folks. This is great for red states, like the Democrats are actually saying. This person is so bad and so cringe and so horrible that he gets owned everywhere he goes, and now he has a official title to jump on television and speak for the Democratic Party. I don't know who's funding this kid. I think he went to Harvard and all some other shit, but he got beat up by Spike Cohen in the debate that he had with him. He totally avoided debating me, and that's smart. You should not sit down in front of me with these weak arguments, especially if you got like 7-inch arms. I know y'all gonna say that's not relevant, but it is. It represents a certain level of strength and dedication and hard work. Nonetheless, gym shit, right? But he didn't have that debate with me. He avoided the debate with Coleon Noir. He got chopped up at that debate with Spike Cohen by Lily Tang, who jumped up and just like meme-worthy chopped him up, got him to say, I can't definitively say that the violence will stop. And then she said, well, then the conversation about gun control is over, right? My point here is the Democrats have such horrible representation in a world that's tired of they like postulating and disrespect for constitutional values. And that translates more than just, the right to keep and bear arms. It also translates into Democrats are actually advocating to tax more Americans. They say tax the rich, but there's a trickle-down effect, right? And even though they say that in their campaign trails, they still target working class Americans, even if you make that $100,000 to $200,000, right? They were advocating for 45.6% capital gains tax. That is not for the billionaires. That's for the average $100,000 a year person. If you sell a house and you make $100,000, your grandma left you a house, you sell it for a profit of $100,000, you damn near got to get a federal government half of that. My point is, even Democrats are like, this ain't the way. This is the reason why there was such a groundswell of support as it relates to Trump, okay? This doesn't mean that Trump is perfect, or this doesn't mean that Trump is this extreme right-wing white supremacist that media tries to package him as. It just means that the general public is tired of swinging completely this way left or swinging this way completely right. More people are going centrist, and some of those people that spoke out in that article are in alignment with that. Your representation, your second in command for your political party is a weak 24-year-old that is advocating for things that are like in alignment with UBI, universal basic income, a restriction on firearms rights. And he's advocating for these things off of the backs of the deaths of his classmates in a mass shooting that he was not a part of. He was not there, okay? Democrats, you're American. I'm never gonna be disrespectful to you just unnecessarily. Your leadership is telling you. A lot of y'all leaders look like they're chasing clout, like wanna be like celebrities more so than public servants. And he fits this bill. And I'm talking about Jasmine Crockett, I'm talking about the squad, AOC and them other three. They're about to bring them back out because they have no other options, right? We can have disagreement on certain things, but you're still Americans. I'm an American just like you. I'm gonna tell you that if you continue to allow weak people like this to be in positions of leadership in your party, it's cool having a voice and just being an activist. But if you vote for this guy and you put him in there during a time when a vote happened where most of Democrats across America weren't even notified about this vote, right? If you keep doing that, and if you really, really hate the right, you're making the right's job easier. Young people don't like this dude. So the thing that he sold y'all on about, yo, I'm gonna get in here and help you with this youth problem, nope. Most of the youth are following some people that they should not follow, but they still more in alignment with like the Andrew Tate energy. And I'm not saying that that's correct fully. I'm just saying like they're going towards strength and masculinity. They are tired of the war on masculinity. They are tired of the war on femininity. Women that decide to say, I just want to take care of my family, and being attacked for saying, oh, you a pick me, you this, that, that. It's over. The pendulum went that way. Y'all had your moment, and it's coming back to a balanced perspective and advocating for and allowing people like this to be in positions of leadership. He's second in command over there. It's just gonna make the job easier for the people that you say you are politically opposed to. But I don't know. Maybe y'all think I'm trying to trick you. Maybe you think that I don't view you as Americans. Maybe you think whatever you think. Put it in the comment section. If you stump me on something that I think you're right on, I'll agree. But please understand, in my comment sections, you're gonna get pushback from me or the other solutionaries. This is the reason why we made a civics class. Civics is important to know how this is supposed to go. Civics is in alignment with empowering Americans so they can be sovereign individuals, be more safe, be more responsible, and there's a system of checks and balances so no party or no person can move unilaterally. But most Americans don't even know the three major branches of government. This is why we made the class. This is why I want you to go over to Solutionary University, sign up for the civics class. You can take it from the comfort of your home. It's online. You get a curriculum, and we go over some of these very basic concepts that you as a Democrat probably don't get, or even if you do, the vast majority of your team doesn't, and now your team is putting somebody as the captain that's gonna make it easier for the other team to defeat you. My name is Maj Toure, the founder of Solutionary University. Hope to see you in a civics class soon. Be safe, be solutionary.